In the 10 years between Metal Gear on the MSX and Metal Gear Solid on the PSX, Hideo Kojima and Konami would work on 2 original and very unique titles. One of those titles would never see a release outside Japan, but the other one would. And to this day, it's one of the only titles that justifies the purchase of a Sega CD. Today on Unboxed, we look at Hideo Kojima's Snatcher. Originally released in '88 on Japanese PCs, Snatcher was touted as a cyberpunk adventure, and taking influence with his love for American movies, Kojima would borrow heavily from movies like Blade Runner and Terminator. Snatcher would be released on the PC Engine, the Sega CD, PlayStation, and Saturn, but the Sega CD version would be the only one released in English in 1994.
June 6, 1996. A mysterious explosion destroyed...
Snatcher tells a story about an explosion happening in Moscow that spread a deadly virus across Europe and Asia, wiping out its population. And then 50 years later, uncovering an even deadlier threat. Bio-androids that kill humans and take their place with an artificial skin, making them impossible to distinguish from real humans. Because they snatch humans, they were dubbed Snatchers. The game is set on an island in Japan called Neo Kobe City in the year 2050 and focuses on Gillian Seed, a man with no memory of his past beyond 3 years ago, except for one word: Snatcher. Because of this, he decides to become a junker, a form of enforcement designed to take care of the threat, along with his wife Jamie, who suffers from amnesia as well.
Let me get this straight. Does anyone here not have amnesia?
Because of this, their relationship is strained.
Just getting to sleep.
That's a shame. Gillian arrives for his first day at Junker HQ and meets Mika, Harry, the Chief, and his assistant Metal Gear Mark II.
Oh, he's cute.
Thank you.
The other member, Jean-Jack Gibson, is out on assignment before sending out an emergency call saying he's located Snatchers at an old warehouse, and Gillian heads out.
Now, Snatcher being released in 1994 would actually be given 2 classification ratings during its time. Firstly by Sega's own Video Game Rating Council, and then by the ESRB. The funny thing is, Sega gave it a rating of MA17, but the ESRB gave it only a teen rating. I mean, maybe Sega just overreacted. I mean, what could be so bad in this game?
Oh, dear God.
Jesus Christ!
With Jean dead, Gillian takes over his investigation about the Snatchers, as well as trying to hunt down his killers. Throughout the game you meet characters like the informant Napoleon, the bounty hunter Random, and Jean's 18-year-old supermodel daughter, Katrina. Snatcher plays like a point-and-click adventure game. You select from the list of options to look, investigate, and move to different places. The only real problem with this game is, what did Yahtzee say? Oh yeah, padded like a menstruating fire hose. You can spend minutes on a single screen, unable to progress. In some cases, you have to select the same option over and over again before the game decides to let you move forward. The game does offer brief action set pieces to keep you from being bored. When it calls for it, you can bring up the targeting reticule and fire at enemies. The target system is broken into 9 squares, and you use the D-pad to aim. The game also supported the Konami Justifier, but as you can guess, those devices no longer work on HD TVs.
All 4 console versions of Snatcher were released with varying levels of censorship and content. I mean, John's death was only one scene in this teen-rated game. The Sega CD version also contains scenes like this.
Good God!
And this.
Jeez, those things don't go down easy.
And this.
Damn!
And of course, this.
Whoa!
You pervert! Get out of here!
Yes. During the second act, Katrina vanishes, and after failing to find her, Gillian returns home to find someone is inside. More specifically, in his shower, which then prompts this scene. However, the Sega CD version likes to make it very, very, very clear that Katrina is 18. Why? Because, oh boy, in the original Japanese version, she's 14. And it's uncensored. And by that I mean you can see her tushy. Oh, Kojima, how do I put this?
Why don't you make yourself at home here? Have a seat.
Snatcher wasn't a major seller outside Japan. While you can get a Japanese copy for as little as 20 bucks, the US or PAL version can fetch up to a minimum of $400, and PAL copies are increasingly hard to find. However, in recent years, Snatcher has become a major cult hit, with even Suda51 creating a Snatcher, a D instead of an N, a radio drama prequel focusing on Jean-Jacques Gibson. Snatcher is a very interesting game, and despite its pacing and such, I did generally like the story. The dubbing as well is fairly top-notch, which for a game in 1994 is very impressive.
I am incapable of locomotion.
What on earth are you blabbering about? Let's go! It's gonna blow!
Please save yourself. I am paralyzed with fear.
Alongside Snatcher, Kojima would also work on another adventure-style game, this one being Policenauts. But unlike Snatcher, that title would never see an official English release due to localization and dubbing issues. But we'll save that for another time. Well folks, I'm Enigma, thank you for watching, and I gotta start making plans for my birthday next week, so I'll see you then.
I want my pizza! Where's my pizza?